I just finished reading Alan Duff's book.
Oh,
It's gonna be ages to read it.
Sonny Bill's book or no?
No, he read the forward, eh?
Mm.
I listened to Sonny Bill Williams' book. That was interesting.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, have you read it?
I haven't, no.
Yeah.
In fact, I just learnt about it today. So
Okay.
I was just thinking of you. I was like, oh, Alan, oh, yeah, I might have to give a squiz and it'd be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be ages to read the book, but I finally got down to it.
Mm.
Read the last 3 chapters. That's all I had to.
Nice.
So there was a big gap. I think I started reading it when you were here first time.
Oh, that's right. I remember now. So you showed how much reading I do. I'm like, oh.
But there's a chapter on welfare, right?
Yes.
And that was interesting because he talked about that is probably the number one reason why New Zealand society has problems with poverty.
Welfare dependency.
Yeah, that welfare dependency, it's a big one there.
It's created intergenerational poverty, especially amongst Māori. And again, we talked about it last time. It's paralleled with African Americans in terms of the Great Society, LBJ, fatherless homes, all that sort of stuff. So it's that flow and effect that you're seeing now, because when families are broken, all those people, when you become, I guess, again dependent on welfare, there's a good chance you won't respect stuff. And I remember growing up, we lived in a state house, and my dad was on the benefit for a while, in between working and all that sort of stuff. But I guess I never I was like, oh, okay. But I guess because he'd encouraged me on, go to school and pursue your dreams, whatever it is, that was the thing, okay. Even though I can see that it could be quite easy just to get on a benefit and get paid money to do nothing, well, actually, no, there's an opportunity here to go further, to get overseas or to go see the world. And I guess depending on the household or the family or whatever it is, those that found solace, I guess, in social on welfare dependency, stayed on welfare, and those that said, nah, I want something else or I want to do something more with my life, did something with their lives. So, but yeah, pretty interesting read.
Yeah, because how do you get to that point where you say to yourself, there's better things in this? It's easy to just sleep in and just, Yeah. But it was interesting because he gave an example of England. There's in Birmingham. Have you been to Birmingham?
Yeah.
Like that's like a lot of unemployed people there.
There's aspects of that place that Birmingham. Yep.
Yeah, so they've got a big problem of people on welfare.
Yep.
And they're just there on welfare. They don't want to do anything else.
Do they break down the demographics? So when they say that there's lots of people on welfare, are these people that have migrated there, or are they people that are born there, or English?
No, he just mentioned Birmingham, and there's a documentary on YouTube you can watch. It's called On the Dole or something.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting they put that up because it sort of takes your mind away that there's a problem everywhere in the world.
It's a worldwide problem.
Yeah, it's a worldwide problem.
Most Western countries where, and again, that's sort of, I guess, more Commonwealth countries where you have high welfare dependence, then you're going to see, especially for, I guess, indigenous populations, that seems very prevalent. But it'll be interesting to sort of have a look at like in places like Birmingham, because obviously you have if the people there that are on social welfare tend to come from migrant populations, which is kind of paralleled here, right? Like with more Māori, it'll be interesting to sort of make that comparison. But it sounds like it probably is. I don't know. But that's not to say that probably white people don't go on welfare as well, because they do. Because again, it really comes down to the morals and values within your household. If you're in a household where it's like, well, you can just get money for nothing, you can become a teenage mum, or you can, do this or that, and then just be on welfare for the rest of your life. Well, that's enough for some people. But for others, it's like, no. Probably for the bulk of people, it's like, oh no. If I'm just relying on this handout, I can't do this. You have a very finite or very limited lifestyle you can live. If you go out there and then, pursue a career or whatever it is, or try and do something in the community, you're going to get more value out of that.
So you brought up a town in Fiordland.
Oh, yeah.
There's a town with, like, there's 90% of the people there on social welfare.
Is that because there isn't any sort of employment, like big meatworks or anything like that around the town?
No, he didn't say. But he said it's enough for them to buy your Chinese takeaways and your bread and milk and your alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's all on the government he was talking about. Like they have they have drink ups every weekend.
Sure.
And it's all on the government. And so why would you want to do anything else?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And he was talking about how he talked about this experiment he read about, and it was like a tug of war. Tug of war. Yeah. And depending on how many people we got on the tug of war, if you got so many people, there's certain people that won't pull as hard because they know there's a lot of people in front of them.
That sounds like
that do all the work.
That sounds like the Pareto principle. You heard of that?
Must have been that
Pareto principle, where only a certain. So it's usually like the 80-20 rule, where 20% of the people do 80% of the work or 50% of the work. So it's a good analogy.
So, so he compared that to what's happening. Like these people have mindset that I'm entitled to this for free.
Yeah,
I don't need to do anything else.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if that particular population, how many were Māori, because again, there is a level of entitlement amongst Māori. As a Māori person, that's not easy to say, but especially in regards to the effects of, when we're told the effects of colonisation and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. If like when I see my whānau that are dependent on welfare or have been, they're like, well, the government took our land. Well, why don't I just take advantage and just get a benefit and not have to do anything and just live out my life? Yeah. So you see a lot of that as well.
So that's kind of thinking he was against. Like, it's time to not use colonization as an excuse.
Stop using it, bro.
Stop using colonization as an excuse. Yeah. He talked about how the entitlement part, and he said, let's look at entitlement. Let's look at entitlement from the upscale, up at the top. Yep. So you have all these wealthy corporations and these CEOs who are entitled to these $1 million salaries. Yep. So they're entitled to that.
Yeah, building stuff. Yeah, built it from the ground up and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So he compared he was talking about there's a spectrum of entitlement. You got the CEOs at one end, then you got the social welfare and the bottom end. Yep. Which was, I don't know what his point was there, but it was interesting.
I think just showing that in society there, and we talked last time about. I'll use the term meritocracy lightly here, because meritocracy, I think, is more when we talk about sport. The best players make the biggest bucks. Within a society, you're going to have this spectrum of people who earn different types of amounts of money. Those people that tend to build things that then, I guess, employ or create jobs for other people are usually going to be the people that make the most money. So if you're the CEO of some big company that employs a lot of people, Amazon, for example, Jeff Bezos, there you go, is, I guess, an example, you're going to be able to make money because you can leverage off employees, because that's how it works, right? The people, the CEOs, or one level, a CEO gets paid more money because, one, they've probably invested the most, they've built up the company, but then for every employee that you have, a bit of their input and their productivity is paid to you. Right, and then at the other end you have, if you're someone that's just on the benefit, well, you're not employing anyone, you don't have anyone in an organisation that you can leverage or get residual income from. And so maybe that was the point, that again on that spectrum, and that's, I guess, indicative of most Western capitalist societies, because you have the spectrum, you have those people that build stuff, and that's, I guess, that can be abused and has been abused a lot in different societies, because people can lie, cheat and steal and be dodgy in business and make all this money, and then other people will miss out. But I guess it gives incentive for those people that are coming on this end of the spectrum to aim for something. And if it's morally good, and you can help a lot of people, great, then you'll have a fulfilling life. But if you can only lie and cheat and steal your way for so long, eventually you'll get cancelled or cut down, because someone will want to pull you down. They're like, nah, man, you can't be a shoddy business person and stay a business person forever. I don't think, at least, because eventually people will try and, or if you do get to that level where you can, you have lawyers and accountants who can funnel money to your Cayman Islands account, then maybe. But it's moralistically, it's not ideal.